So for my next block, I want to use these layer cakes again, and I've just figured out I can. But if you're going to be using a layer cake, you have to make sure that you're going to have duplicates of a print, because because we're going to be cutting pieces bigger or more pieces than one 10-inch square will yield. So if you don't have duplicates, 2 of each, or 2 of a couple of the ones you want, you're going to have to be cutting from your fat quarter, and I'll explain that. So for this block, I like that. Although that's a little bit geometric. Let me just see. Oh, maybe that'll work out. Nah, I won't do that one. I'm going to pick something. I think this will be better. Or the light will be better. Let me see. Well, I'll see how this one works out. I'll see how this works out. I'm going to be needing 2 of this print. I really like this print. And I really like that. So I have 2 10-inch squares there, because you'll see what I'm having to cut. So now what I'm going to need is, oh, that's nice, but that's I won't do that. I need a dark, so I'm going to just change it up. I'm just going to I believe I need, yeah, I'm going to take that red. So it's just red and white, and I think I can just get my pieces out of this one. So for this piece here, just one of them for now, I'm going to take my square, and I am going to cut from this unit here, this 10-inch square, the frame, yeah, from this square here. I'm going to line it all up really nice and neat, scratch it up, and remember, I always go to the top of my valley, on the top of my mountain, on my pinked edge. I'm going to be needing a 6.5-inch square. So I'm going to find my 6.5-inch square right there on my ruler, and then I'm going to find it down here. Very important to find it here. Yeah, to find it down here, to line that up at the edge of my pinked edge. My 6.5-inch square here, and my 6.5-inch square line there. Lovely. Hold that nice and firm. Put my ruler on. Make sure it's nice at 6.5-inch up there. Oh, no, not 6.5-inch up there. I'm just, yeah, actually, yeah. I'm just going to cut a 6.5-inch, and then I'll cut my 6.5-inch square, my 6.5-inch square. So excuse me. So I just open my rotary cutter. Of course. And now I'm going to turn this around. Now I find my 6.5-inch square, which is up here to there perfectly. Put my ruler down. Make sure, take that away, and here is my 6.5-inch square. Oh, I quite like that. And actually, I could have fussy cut that, which means you could get the design, but it's fine. The design is fine. Now with my other layer cake, which is the exact same design, what I'm going to cut from that is 3 7/8 of an inch. Now again, a strip 3 7/8 of an inch. Now 3 7/8 is, you're going to find your 3-inch. 7/8 inch is the line right before the 4-inch, the little one, the little line, past the 3/4, 7/8, 4-inch. So I'm going to cut 3 3 7/8. I don't think I can get out of this one. So I'm just going to find this 3 7/8 inch line right there. I'm going to make sure it's down here to the top of my thing. Take this away, open my cutter. Now I'm going to cut. I need to cut, I'll do that one again. I need to put this on my board. I need to cut 3, so I can only get 2 out of this piece. I'll have to cut this one again. I'm going to get 3. I need 3 7/8. Here's 1. There's my 7/8 inch mark. There's 1. There's my 3 7/8 inch there and there. There's 2. And then I'm going to cut this one again, my second one, 3 7/8 inch, and I just need one more 3 7/8 inch square. That's all the way down there. And then I'll turn that around and I'll cut my 3 7/8 inch square. So I have 3 of these. And that is perfect. So I have these 4 pieces for this block. Now what we want out of one solid one plain red one, I need, I need 2 of these. Because I need, of course, I'm making half square triangles. I have 2 of these. And again, if you have fat quarters, you're going to be having to cut your units out of your fat quarters. So I need, I only can use one. That's right. I'm getting all confused. So I have this lined up. So I'm going to cut my 3 7/8 inch square out of my red. Line that up down here. And there you go. And I'll come over here and I'll cut this one. 3 7/8 inch. It's all nice and lined up. Actually, and then I can put them together. I just eliminated a step. That's fine. Scratch them together. And then I'm going to find my 3 7/8 inch. Now this one is, oh yeah, there it is. There it is, 3 7/8 inch, 2 of them. Now I'm going to cut 2 of these, but I only need 1 more. And there's my line. There's my 3 7/8 inch. So I only need 3 of these. So here is our block to be put together. Now what you're going to do is you've perfected your half square triangle, right? So now it's a little bit more work. You're going to put those 3 aside, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your pen and your ruler, and on your light side of your half square triangle, you're going to make your line. And remember, sometimes I iron this line, but by all means, just you can mark it. So there's my line on that one, and my line on this one, and we're going to make this half square triangles. These are smaller, but we're going to make these half square triangles exactly like we did our other. You're going to put this pretty sides together on these units here. 1, 2, 3. You're going to pin them. You're going to pin them here and here. You're going to take them over to your machine, and you're going to stitch what? A 1/4 inch away from that line there. A 1/4 inch away from that marked line on these 3 units. Again, we're creating half square triangle units. I'm putting my foot next to the line, right next to the line, on the line, and I'm stitching a 1/4 inch away from that line. Down and off. And maybe you're comfortable putting the next piece in and chain piecing it. Next to the line, perfect 1/4 inch. And off. Press your foot up. And off. I leave my needle in, pull my thread out carefully, put that back under, and just come back on myself. right next to that line. And this block, as you will see, hopefully it turns out, will have 5. We're creating here 6 half square triangles, but you will be using 5 of them. We won't be using 1, which is fine. Right next to that line, 1/4 inch, and then off. We're going to do just as we did the other. Now these we have to clip the seams, clip the little threads there, pins out, and we're going to do exactly like we did with the other. What we did is, remember, I like to actually sometimes, I'm going to go over to my ironing board, and I just sort of like sometimes to press that, just like as it is right there. Press that, and then I'm going to slice these open, and then I'm going to press over to the dark side, and I'll show you. So here I am over my cutting mat, and I've just sort of pressed that down, and I'm going to slice these just like we did with our other half square triangles. I'm going to cut on the line. Cut on the line with my ruler. We've created the line with the ruler. Cut on the line with the ruler. Diagonal to diagonal, perfectly. And then what do we get? We get all of our half square triangles. Now I'm going to go over, I'm going to set my seams, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to take off all these little dog ears, remember? I'm going to take off the dog ears, and then we'll put our block together. So as you can see, I've just sliced off all my dog ears on these blocks here, and I've pressed my seams and I've pressed to the dark. We'll get rid of all those little dog ears, and we can put our block together. So this is our focal block. This is my lovely big 6.5 inch block. And then with the dark side that way, with the light side going up, I'm going to place my blocks like this. There's going to be 3 going across with my dark this way and 2 going down. So we will have 1 extra half square triangle block, but that's okay. So there, without the seams, is my block. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I think it's so pretty. So now what I'm going to do is, what you're going to do now is we're going to create 2 units. We're going to put, just like I'm on a 9 patch, although this isn't, this is sort of a 9 patch with a big one. We're going to put this one over to the pretty side, the right into the center, and you're going to sew that seam, and then you're going to do the left to the center and sew that seam to make this top unit, and then you're going to do this. So we're going to create that top unit, right? Then you're going to want to put this piece here on the left, turn it over this way down to the bottom. You're going to sew that seam, and then you're going to put that unit over to there. But I'll be back and I'll show you. So as you can see, I've stitched this seam and this seam together, and I have ironed to the dark side. It doesn't really matter, but I've just ironed to the dark side. Now I'm going to take this unit here, as I said, and this unit here, and I'm going to go over, I'm going to put this down, making sure your dark orientation, wherever your scraps are, or whatever your colorway is, making sure this bit here, all of these triangles are going this way. So I'm going to put this one over to here, and then I'm going to sew that seam there. I've sewn this unit here to this one, making sure my darks are there. And now what I'm going to do is, you can see it matches up perfectly. I'm going to take my 6.5 inch piece, right sides together, and I'm going to sew this seam here 1/4 inch. I'll pin that and I'll sew that 1/4 inch. I've sewn this unit here. It matches perfectly. I think it's very interesting. I just wanted to show you whether this happens to you or not, and it's just a minute point. My fabric, when I made this unit here, my fabric was telling me it wanted to be pressed here. It did not want to be pressed to the dark side, to this unit here. And I think it's interesting because when I go to put this right side over to here, this seam here is going to nest. Isn't that funny? It's going to nest right there. And if you see, when you've done it absolutely correctly, or if your hair out, who cares? There's an inch, there's a 1/4 inch there, and there's a 1/4 inch there. So that's the only bit right now, this 1/4 inch here and this 1/4 inch here, that you have to match. The rest will turn out a 1/4 of an inch, a 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch over here, 1/4 of an inch when we go to sew it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to nest that seam there. Interesting. Put a pin there. Some people, when they do that, they put a pin, I can feel it, on either side of that nested seam and then all along. So whatever you're comfortable with, to try to get that lovely bit there matching. So I'm going to go sew that, and then my block will be done. So here is my finished block. Isn't it pretty? Oh, I think it's so pretty. I'm a little bit out there and slightly there. It's a hair. It looks wonderful. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. Don't sweat it, please. And look at this. It is 9.5 inches. No, it's not. There's just a hair, just a little hair there, and it's 9.5 inches. So there are our 2 blocks for today. But I just wanted to, for this week, I just wanted to show you that if you've really done everything really lovely, and you might as well, if you're beginners, get some of these basics down, as you know, like, you know, the pressing and the setting the seam. And then you turn over your blocks, and each week you can look at the back of your blocks, and you'll have a lovely, this is my last week's block, a lovely seams, all nice and pressed every which way they should go. Lovely seams. And the back of your blocks should be as pretty as the front. So these are our 2 blocks for this week, our pinwheels. You've mastered, well, you're going to master half square triangles. Don't sweat if you're a hair or a point out. Please don't sweat. Don't be picking everything out. There's more to life than getting your points properly. I haven't done it even, but it's perfect as it is. So these are blocks, what would be 5 and 6. We have 6 blocks under our belt. But again, your quilt's going to be wherever you want to put your blocks at the end of the day. We're just making beautiful blocks. So, yeah, so there is our lovely blocks, and I enjoyed making them, and I hope you do too. Okay, thanks, folks. Bye.